Hi guys, I am here to talk to you about week 3 of my yoga teacher training. I skipped last week because we actually had about 2 weeks off of it, so obviously I didn't make a video, but this week, yesterday was the last day of this week. A lot well, I don't know, I'll just get down to it. On Friday, the 5:30 to 7:30 day, we just had a regular practice, but I mean, it was a little more challenging than the last times, but it wasn't too bad. And after that, we just, got in our same circle, and we just talked about, like, what's going to be happening this weekend, what's going to be happening next weekend, which is the big week, which I'll tell you guys about. But yeah, so that was really it on Friday, just kind of regular. On Saturday, we did about an hour and a half of practice. Well, let me just tell you, for the whole day was yoga practice. We didn't really have a lecture. We didn't really have a lot of talking time, so and mind you, Saturdays are 10 to 6, so 8 hours, plus a lunch break, but 8 hours. So yeah, we did an hour and a half of Ashtanga again, which is, I love it. Except those forward folds, man, like those beat up my hamstrings, but gotta love it. So after that, we had a lunch break, and then we came back, and she was telling us that today was going to be like an intro to practice teaching. So we basically got in groups of 2 or 3, or 4, depending on how the class evened out. And then we could either go to a park, we could stay in the studio, we can go basically wherever we want, and we had 3 hours, so 2 to 5. Yeah, 3 hours, 2 to 5 of practice teaching. So I got with my group, with these ladies named Megan and Sage, and let me tell you, they're a few of the most awesome people I've ever met. But anyway, so we got in Megan's car, and we went to a park about 10 minutes away. And first, we have to memorize 2 sequences. So we have notes, and then we wrote down the sequence because it was an audio, so we have to kind of write it down to memorize them. So first we're like, okay, let's try to practice with our notes first, just to get like the feel of teaching. So I had no idea how this was gonna go. So all of us went, and then I got up there, read through my notes, tried not to look at my notes too much, but used my notes as a tool. So it was really good. And after that, Sage was like, oh, how about one of us holds the notes, and then the other person's a student, and then the other person teaches. And then the person with the notes can cue the person that's teaching if they get stuck. So I'm like, that's a fantastic idea. So we did that about 3 times each, and oh my goodness, that was amazing, okay, because you really got the feel of like how it feels to teach, and like how it feels like inside of you to teach. Like you have a whole different voice, like a teaching voice. It got to play around with the words a little bit. It was just like, before today, I was so nervous because what I was gonna tell you guys about next weekend is when we actually teach a class, like an actual yoga class. So for the first time, so I was really kind of anxious about that because me and public speaking don't really get along. But after we had that practice teaching session on Saturday, I felt so much more confident, like, okay, I actually have a handle on this stuff, and all of us felt this huge sense of like gratitude and confidence, and we were also like grateful for each other, which I am so grateful for everyone in my training. But that Saturday, like, I had so much gratitude in my heart, like, oh my god. I hope everyone experiences that feeling that I felt after we were done with the practice teaching. It was just such an amazing like feeling. It was just but yeah, so we all, and then we're all like so supportive of each other, so it was really a nice environment to like get the feeling of teaching. So yeah, and we all had a good handle on it. Like we only had to help each other like not even like probably twice each. That's it, and the sequence is pretty long. So yeah, we were very happy about our accomplishments during that. So that was the highlight of my weekend for sure. And then yesterday, Sunday, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit boring, but very informative. So we had one of the people in my training. She was already a teacher, but she's kind of new, and she was just making up some hours from her last training. So she taught the class in the morning about an hour and a half. And she was amazing. She said she was kind of nervous because she was teaching the teacher training group, so I guess she thought it was nerve-wracking. But she was wonderful. Shout out to Candace. She's wonderful. So we had that. It was just a very balanced class. Especially after yesterday, after Saturday, my hamstrings were really sore because it was like all day yoga. So that class really, it wasn't too rough, wasn't too soft. It was like perfect. And then after that, we had we went to lunch, blah blah. And then after that, we had like a asana clinic, which means like, so we would have questions about a certain pose, and then our teacher or the person that asked the question would demonstrate, like show us the pose and what their problem was with the pose or what their question was, and then our instructor and another guest teacher would kind of explain like, oh, well, this is how it works, or this is how you can make it better, this is how you can modify, this is how blah 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 blah. So I did that for 3 hours, and it was really like, just in yoga there's such like slight like hip hinges, like such like slight little things that sometimes we don't notice when we practice. So it was really good to get all those little things, those little pinpoints that we need to know to make our practice more full, I should say. So that was really good. I took a lot of notes. I'm like, oh, gotta get this down, because believe me, like some of the poses I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had to do that. But yeah, so it was really good to get that. So yeah, that was basically it. Next week is going to be a biggie, so I will definitely fill you guys in on how practice teaching the whole class goes. Alright, I'll talk to you guys next time.